The half-blind dovetail. Intimidating for some, but is actually more forgiving than a through dovetail. This is a story about that. Oh, and this episode is sponsored by Surfshark. There are a menagerie of ways to cut dovetails, and they all have their merit. I am by no means an expert, but I can cut structurally sound, relatively tight-fitting, functional dovetails, and so can you. I start by laying out my shoulder lines on the tailboard all the way around. In my case, my shoulder line is the same as the thickness of my tailboard, which also happens to be the length of the tails relative to the pinboard, which is dictated by the size of the web or the amount of material you leave to cover the end grain of the tails, making it a half-blind dovetail. That was a lot of words to say in general. Say for a drawer box, your drawer sides are going to be thinner than your drawer front. So it saves time if you only have to set your marking gauge once. So I set mine to the thickness of my tailboard and let that set the web on the pinboard. Moving on. After scribing in, say, 3/16 of an inch, I walk my tails out with some dividers. Starting in the knife line, I walk the dividers to the other side. The closer I am to the other line, the smaller the space between tails. Once I'm happy with the spacing, I push the points of the dividers into the end grain. Works the same for however many tails you want. 3 on this board, for instance. I happen to have this metal jig I use to lay out my tails at either 8:1 or 5:1, but a shop-made layout guide or bevel gauge also work. After I score my knife lines, I pair to the line on the waist side to give myself a little valley to start my saw in. Then I saw to my line using a Japanese-style dovetail saw, also known as a dozuki saw, like this, or a two-sided ryoba, like this, or a Western dovetail saw, like this Thomas Flynn Pax. Alternatively, if you have a lot of tails to cut, you can cut them at the bandsaw using a quick shop-made 8:1 ratio angle jig. Then, if you have a coping saw or a fret saw, you can cut out the waste in between tails and chisel back to your shoulder lines, chopping halfway down, flipping the board over, and chiseling the other half. You want to chop straight down, or actually undercut these slightly. If you don't have the saw, you can simply chop the waste out with a chisel, but be aware that pieces tend to become projectiles using this method. And while I finish cleaning up the tailboard, let me talk to you about Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable. Surfshark encrypts all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensures that your IP address remains hidden to make sure nobody can see what you do online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts. And unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you'd like simultaneously. You can also access desired entertainment. If you can't find a TV series or a movie on any streaming platform in your country, try looking in other countries. For instance, The Hobbit is only available on Netflix UK. With Surfshark, you can choose any country to stream from without being there. Secure your digital life. We spend almost as much time online as sleeping. That is 6 to 8 hours a day. The internet knows a lot about us, and that's why we should care about our online data. Use Surfshark to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel so that no one can see it without your permission. Click the link in the description or go to surfshark.deals/walker and use code WALKER when you sign up to get 84% off and 1 extra month free. Thanks, Surfshark. On to the pin or socket board. I use a bench plane to set the height of the pin board and the vise, then use the plane to lay the tailboard so it's perpendicular to the pin board and strike the tails onto the pin board. Then square down the inside face to my shoulder line. With the pin board turned around in the vise, I saw diagonally on the waist side until I meet the web and shoulder lines, keeping close attention on both the lines I just marked. At this point, some people like to take a ground card scraper and hammer to sever the fibers the saw couldn't reach, but I haven't sacrificed one of my scrapers yet. At the bench, with a sharp chisel and mallet, set your chisel in the knife line and give it a light tap to begin with to sever the fibers. Then go to the end grain and pop out the waste. Once you have your line established, you can be more aggressive with the mallet strikes. The drill press is also a popular way to excavate the bulk, but mine is currently out of commission. With most of the waste cleared, we can finesse the chisel to our knife lines and check the fit. The most important face is the knife lines in the end grain because that will be your show face. The rest of the joint is hidden by the tailboard. These are not my cleanest half-blinds I've ever cut, but it's a passable joint and are hand cut. It had been a while since I had cut some, and repetition would certainly improve them. If you've never cut half-blind dovetails before, I hope this video encourages you to try your hand at them, and don't be discouraged by sloppy dovetails. Go look at an antique piece of furniture. The dovetail was meant to be a fast and functional joint. I'll admit I am boastful when I cut clean dovetails, but I always remember the function first, and practice makes better. Thanks for watching.